Welcome back to another reading, folks. Today I am using the Light Seers Tarot. There we go. And I have laid your cards out in a Celtic cross formation. Your first card is the Five of Pentacles. This is you right now, for the moment, choosing not to see that help is available to help you get out of your situation. But I don't feel like this is always going to be the case because of the cards that I've got laid out here so far. This particular figure has the ability to just go into a warm, sheltered place where she can get assistance with everything that she needs. The key is right there. The door isn't actually locked, but she's got her back to the key, and she's just focused on how the door is locked. This is the blind leading the blind. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, it's a pair of figures who are trying to lead each other to warmth and safety, but are running circles around a particular church. In this case, she's given up trying to hunt for the entrance to the church altogether. She's just seated, but it's in front of the door. She can choose to get up and leave at any point. And I wonder if this doesn't apply somehow to you. You have an opportunity to leave right now your particular situation. It feels like this is a marriage that I'm speaking about. I'll talk to you about why I feel like it's a marriage here in just a second, or it's at least a well-established family. There's a chance here to leave. Something in the past really shattered your defenses, like something brought, like you were not guarded and someone chose to attack you, and feels like it could have been something like the final straw. But at this point, I feel like there might be potentially too much pride to move forward and do anything, and possibly you just don't want to take action right now. You might be sapped of all energy. Your fire has been doused, possibly with some water energy. Maybe there's too much emotion around this particular circumstance for right now, but that shouldn't always be the case. You are being asked to leave and ask for assistance with this particular situation, with getting out. And that might mean swallowing your pride and coming to terms with the fact that this was never real. This is in your subconscious position. This is the image that you want to affect on a very deep level. This comes from possibly generational family trauma, for instance. It may have been that you've grown up with seeing unhappy families, and this was you trying your damnedest, trying your hardest to persuade people that there was that image of that you genuinely were a happy family. It wasn't just the image of it. Now here's the thing. This is your crossing card. This is the moon. It's pointing towards the future. I see you starting to do some shadow work on yourself, potentially, or at least being given the opportunity to start some shadow work while you're in the process of genuinely considering how it is that you can go in and get some help for yourself to get out of this situation. Right now, you don't want to do anything, but I promise you, you do want to do something, because with the moon, that suggests that there are some real mistruths, lies, accolades. There's something about the accolades that you and your family have received, or maybe it's your family in total. There's something about those accolades that are really going to shatter the illusion of a happy family once the lies start being unraveled. Here's the thing with the moon, and especially pointing towards the future, coming from the past, these are lies about accolades that your family receives. Something about the community looks up to your family in particular, and there's been some lies building up behind the scenes now for a while, and it's going to be painful to see those lies dissolve and have people see you and your family the way that it always was. I should say that with the moon, that eventually this was going to come out into the brightness anyway. With the shadows inside the moon, there is the potential that people don't see clearly, and that includes you. That includes the people involved with your family, involved with these lies surrounding a perfect, happily ever after family that has everything they could ever need or want. There's something about that needs to be shattered, and there might be part of your beliefs, part of your belief system may be wrapped up in how good, how perfect, how Instagram surface level your family looks like you guys take a good picture and post it on Instagram, but behind the scenes, it's a chaotic mess that should have never come together to begin with. I don't know that you're married to the person that you were supposed to be married to. I feel like you sped things up when you should have waited for the perfect person to come into your life. And now that you've gotten older and you've seen people who were probably more compatible for you than this person that you're with right now, it feels worse. This holding up this particular image feels worse because your heart has never really, you might have been pushing your heart to be in it at the beginning, but now the energy's just not there, and it's embarrassing to go in for help. And that may be why you're not taking action on this. It's embarrassing. And yet, in the future, I see you leaving. You have the Six of Swords here, and that talks to me about eventually taking with you just what you need. She has one suitcase with her, but guaranteed there are some memories that she's carrying alongside her, not just the things that she needs for the new life. There's a kind of darkness about this card. There's some cloudy skies. It may be that you don't see clearly, not just with the moon card, but, somewhat into the future. There may be some circumstances where, it just feels dark. It just feels rough. It just feels like you're unsure. But on the other hand, in the corner of the card right here, that's the shore. She's about to hit the shore. She's been through a long journey. She's had a while to think while she was sitting in the boat. And there may be some trauma that she carries on to the new shore to start her new life. But the fact of the matter is she's starting her new life, and living in the present while you're leaving is going to be key to actually permanently leaving and not turning back around and going back where you came. That would bring on disaster to you. I don't have the Tower card in this particular spread, but if you were to turn things around and go back to this particular family or try to rebuild that image again, and I feel like for some reason that's going to be impossible. Once you start this process of leaving, you're going to get a taste of freedom. You're going to say to yourself, never, ever fucking again am I going to find myself in that kind of situation. It's not good for me. It's not good for any children that you may have. Okay? This is your advice card. This is getting a divorce. This is my wedding card. Marriage, upright, the celebration of a new couple. But in this particular case, it's in reverse. You're being asked to get a divorce. Okay? You're basically being asked to get a divorce, and be cautious that your partner may be quite hell-bent on keeping some things away from you that would help you start your new life. Here with this Page of Pentacles, that's struggling to get things started because in this particular case, something was taken away from your luggage that should have been in there. So be cautious during the divorce proceedings that you get everything that you are owed. This is not necessarily a time to play nice. There is a difference between being nice and being kind. You can be kind while being assertive at the same time. People are still going to call you a bitch. They may do it to your face, but if you can be kind while being assertive at the same time, not aggressive, okay? Assertive, people are still they're going to respect you, but they're going to call you a bitch, okay? You still need to stand firm and make sure that when you leave, that it's with all the resources that you need and deserve, and possibly want in some cases, that you leave with everything that you need to in order to start your new life. In your environment position, you have the Page of Swords. This is you doing a careful balancing act. If you take a look at this card, this particular figure is balancing on a sword that is barely covering the distance between those two cliffs. Right now, I see you as very much as someone who has been walking on eggshells, and you're continuing to do so with the Page of Swords. But whereas the Nine of Wands in the past is defenses being breached and walking on eggshells, in the future, you're continuing to walk on eggshells while you're making a plan to escape. and get into a better version of the life that you're living. You can do this. Don't get discouraged with how hard this might be sometimes. It is going to be a whole new way of thinking for yourself, and for a lot of people, for like 99.9% of people, I would say that's a really difficult assignment, but it's inviting new ideas into your life. It's studying about what it is you can do to make your new life as comfortable as possible for you in the future, okay? So you've got the Page of Swords and you've got the Page of Pentacles here. This was in your outcome position, by the way. So if you can do careful research into how you can have the best divorce possible for yourself, you're going to be in a much better position with this being in your outcome. There will still be some degree of loss, but you don't have to lose nearly as much if you do your research now, and if you contact a good lawyer now. It'll be a whole lot easier for you in the future. Your last card is in your hopes and your fears. I feel like you really want things to come back into balance sooner rather than later. The universe wants this for you too. So if the two of you, the universe, your guides, your ancestors, more than the two of you, if you can work with all the entities surrounding you to bring balance back to your situation, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but things are going to happen, and that things are going to happen that should have started to happen a while back, okay? It's not always going to be like this. You can bring balance to your situation. The offer is being made to you. Please don't wait until the point that it's forced. That would be this kind of card in reverse, where you waited and waited and waited until things got so bad that the universe says, enough, we're making it so that you leave with your children, and it's going to be a whole lot rougher than if you had chosen to start the process of leaving now. Start researching good lawyers. Start researching what it takes to make solid investments. Come into some kind of education when it comes to your money and finances and jobs, all that kind of good stuff. You can do this. It's going to be hard work, but leaving is going to be one of the best gifts you've given yourself and your children in a long time. I'm going to close this reading out here. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a wonderful journey to your destination. And take care.